What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to show you the fastest strats to defeat the 7-star Ice Terra Inteleon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I just came out of the hospital and I'm ready to go with these strats. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, enjoy this type of content in general, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan Fam today by hitting that join channel member button below. Now let's begin with the 2-turn Gholdengo strat, and we're gonna be using Gholdengo here with a Life Orb, which is gonna be very important, necessary to do. And we're gonna be going max special attack, max special defense with a modest nature to boost that special attack stat more. And the only important moves you really need for this is going to be Nasty Plot and Steel Beam to maximize that damage, so we can hit that damage threshold to guarantee that 2-turn knockout. And the other Pokemon that we're going to be using for this is going to be Umbreon here with Wide Lens. Doesn't necessarily matter too much, but it's always good to have a Wide Lens Umbreon, because this Umbreon's going to be used in some other strats, so you might as well have the item Wide Lens. But you can also use like something like a Bright Powder or a Light Clay as well on Umbreon. Those are going to be pretty decent. And we're going to be running Max HP, Max Spadef with a plus Spadef nature minus attack. And pretty much the only things you need on this Umbreon is going to be Fake Tears, and you're going to attack shear, which doesn't even need to be on the Umbreon. Anyone can attack shear. Light Screen is going to be pretty helpful. And I do recommend Helping Hand, not necessarily for this strat, but for other strats. Now, to break it down turn by turn, player 1 is going to have the Gholdengo with the Life Orb, turn 1 Nasty Plot, and then the other 3 players are going to be Umbreon, right? And we're going to have Fake Tears on the first 2 Umbreons for player 2 and player 3. Player 4 can put up a Light Screen. The Light Screen is pretty important because Gholdengo will guarantee survive the 2 hits coming at it. Even if it gets hit by a super effective Shadow Ball or a Dark Pulse, it will definitely survive. The first hit is going to do about 41 to 48%. And then with the Light Screen up on the second one, it's definitely going to survive. Of course, if a crit happens, that's going to suck, but every move in Pokemon has a 4% chance of critting. And Inteleon does not have Focus Energy, so we can't really play around that. We can't be afraid of a 4% chance. So once we have that, we're essentially going to wait for one of the Fake Tears to come out. We don't really need both of these, but player 4 has nothing else to do, so we're just going to both Fake Tears just in case. And then player 2 is going to hit that attack shear. And then once that attack shear and one of those Fake Tears show up on my screen, I hit that Steel Beam and we one-shot. And you can see that calc down here at the bottom. A +2 max special attack Life Orb Gholdengo with an attack shear using Steel Beam against a -6 Spadef Terra Ice Inteleon is going to be taking 135.7 to 159.6% of its max health times 30. All raid bosses have times 30 HP at 7 stars, so except for that one Pikachu, but besides the point, this will destroy it. Guarantee 1-hit KO on turn 2. This is going to probably be the best strat for turn 2 in my opinion, because the reality is Gholdengo can hit Nasty Plot and Umbreon hits Fake Tears, and Fake Tears can't miss. Screech can miss, so physical attackers are slightly at a disadvantage. And also, when Inteleon sets up the snow, I'm assuming he's going to set up the snow on turn 1, the snow does increase its defense by 50%. And Gholdengo has to worry about that because it doesn't increase its special defense, just its physical defense. So Gholdengo may honestly be the easiest way to do this for the turn 2. However, we have a couple of other turn 2 strats if you don't want to do this method. Now, our second turn 2 strat brings back everyone's favorite Raid Cat. Yeah, that's right. Raid Cat is back, baby, and I'm super excited. If you don't know what Raid Cat is, Perrserker was an absolute beast at defeating pretty much every 6-star raid in online multiplayer. If you had 4 Perrserkers, you could pretty much one-shot nearly everything as long as it did not resist a Steel-type move. And of course, if they were weak to Steel, like this Ice-type Inteleon is, Perrserker will eat. And we're going to be eating this lizard with this Perrserker. So, Perrserker, obviously Steel-type super effective damage. Life Orb is going to be great to boost that damage here too. And we're going to go max attack, Adamant Nature, Spadef, and you need that hidden ability, Steely Spirit. This is going to be very important to have here, because if you have Steely Spirit, you can get up to 3 Steely Spirit boosts if you have 3 other Perrserkers with you. Meaning, you're going to do some crazy damage with this. So, this is going to be pretty wild. And looking at the moveset here, Iron Head is going to be our big damage move. Swords Dance to buff our attack. And if you are playing support, Screech and Helping Hand are going to be pretty important moves as well. Now, we have a support Raid Cat. If you're going to play support Raid Cat, I do recommend going max Spadef and max HP and not buffing your attack. And then having the item Wide Lens, because you need to hit those Screeches. And as you know, Screech is an 85 accuracy move. And with Wide Lens, it's going to put you at 93.5%, which rounds up to 94% accuracy. And of course, there's a 6% chance you can miss, which does suck. Now, Raid Cat is phenomenal because he has the most flexible turn 2 strat. Now, the attacker Perrserker with Life Orb is just going to Swords Dance. Now, everyone else is going to have their Wide Lens and hit that Screech. As I already mentioned before, it is a 94% chance to hit Screech. Now, what is incredibly important is if 2 of the 3 Screeches hit, it does not matter what happens on turn 2. It does not matter. Of course, if you hit 3, it definitely does not matter either, but it's enough to actually kill on turn 2 with just the Iron Head without the Helping Hand or Attack Cheer. Now, if you hit 1 Screech, you will need the Helping Hand and Attack Cheer. That is for sure. So keep that in mind. And unfortunately, Helping Hand, Attack Cheer, and Screech on turn 1 with a Life Orb is not enough to get that one shot. It's going to be incredibly close. However, there is a way to get a turn 1 kill with Perrserker. It is not a 100% chance, which is actually the second calc. The first calc shows the guarantee kill against the Inteleon here, and this is a -2 defense Inteleon. So as long as you hit 1 Screech, that's all you need, 1 Screech with the ability Steely Spirit, and you're doing an Attack Cheer, Life Orb, -2, it's over. That's all you need. You don't even need the Helping Hand here. You just need that Steely Spirit, which is the ability, 1 Screech, 1 Attack Cheer. That is the 2 turn if you only hit 1 Screech. If you hit 2 Screeches, then you don't even need anything else. But let's say you want that 1 turn on Raid Cat here. You put a Choice Band. You switch your item to Choice Band, which means you're going to do 1.5 damage instead of 1.3 that Life Orb provides. And obviously go for Iron Head. And what needs to happen here is you need 1 Screech to hit, and you're going to need a Helping Hand, and you're going to need an Attack Cheer. Now, it's not a guarantee 1-hit KO, guys. As you can see at the bottom here, it says 87.5% chance to 1-hit KO. Now, that is incredibly good. And the lowest odds is that Inteleon is going to be at 97.9% of its max health, which you guys can probably just clean up after there. So this is going to be a phenomenal strat to go for the turn 1, which I actually think is probably going to be worth trying for. I'm definitely going to try it on my live stream for sure. But if you want to be a little bit safer, turn 2 definitely works. Now, the only concern I'll say about the Raid Cat turn 2 strat here is if you go for it on turn 2, Inteleon will knock out the Perrserker, especially the attacking Perrserker, if it does land 2 Hydro Pumps. Now, we don't know if it's going to have Hydro Pump. Also, Hydro Pump's an 80% accurate move, so we got to keep that in mind as well. So we don't know, but we can take the Blizzards. We can take two Blizzards. We can take 2 Mud Shots, 2 Shadow Balls. It is the addition of Hydro Pump is being a problem for sure. Now, if we get hit by a Snipe Shot that doesn't crit us, we're going to be okay as well. So there is some variance there. This is definitely something I'm going to test out on stream for sure, but this is a turn 2 strat that can be turn 1, which I think is going to be really worth to bring your Raid Cats for. Next up is the Iron Hands 2-turn strat, which I got to say personally is my least favorite, but it does work. And I know a lot of people would ask, so I want to show off the homework here. And honestly, it's pretty good overall. I mean, we're going to use Booster Energy, Terra Fighting, doesn't really matter. Max Attack, Adamant Nature with plus Spadef as well. And essentially, the only 2 moves that matter is going to be Swords Dance and Close Combat. Of course, you can use this exact same Iron Hands for the solo, which we'll go over soon. But this is the general moveset you want for Iron Hands in this raid. Now, the support for Iron Hands, if you are doing this multiplayer, is once again going to be Umbreon. And of course, Max HP plus Spadef Nature. And you're going to have Screech here instead of Fake Tears. Everything's literally the same as we did with the Gholdengo setup. Pretty much, we're just going to be absolute tanky. You want to have the item Wide Lens so you can actually hit those Screeches, being a 94% accurate move. Now, the 2-turn Iron Hand strat here is a lot less lenient than the Raid Cat. So you need to go for Swords Dance on turn 1 for sure. And then you need to land every single Screech on the Umbreon here. Now, if you do miss one Screech, that's okay, because player 4 will go for a Screech again and cover that, while player 2 has to do a Helping Hand on Iron Hands, and we have to have an attack here from player 3 to guarantee that one-hit KO when Iron Hands goes for that close combat. Of course, we want that booster energy. It's literally the same thing as Life Orb, but it doesn't reduce your HP at all by 10%. So, you know, it's of course just a better Life Orb. And we can see the calc down here, +2 max attack, Quart Drive, Iron Hands, Helping Hand attacks here, close combat versus -6 Terra, Ice Inteleon in the snow. Of course, you can't forget the snow increases that defense. Is going to be 121.7% to 143.2% of the 30 times HP boss. So, guarantee one-hit KO of Iron Hands. Like I said, the Screech variance is going to be annoying. This will definitely work for sure. Iron Hands is pretty damn tanky overall too, honestly, taking those blizzards pretty well. So it's going to be a good Pokemon for this raid, but it's just a lot less lenient than the Gholdengo and the Perrserker. And now for our one turn strat, and this is going to be relatively easy to do. So our first Pokemon, it needs to be a Pokemon that has Screech. I'm just going to suggest Umbreon because everyone should have Umbreon for raiding. And it has Screech, it has Wide Lens. That's all you really need. Doesn't really matter anything else. Inner Focus just in case it goes for a flinching move, just in case, so you can guarantee get that Screech off. Now for our killing Pokemon, Water Tauros. Now this thing with Choice Band is going to be our one-hit KO turn 1 machine. And we're going to be going max attack, max HP with it. You can go max attack, max Spadef too. Both of them work. I think probably max Spadef ends up being a little bit better, but that's going to be up to you. The important thing is going to be the ability Anger Point here, because Anger Point, when you get crit, you're going to get +6 attack immediately. So you're going to be running a +6 Tauros, doing a stab super effective close combat into a -2 Inteleon that is going to be weak to ice. So that's going to be very important. And like I said, you want to make this probably max Spadef instead of max HP, just because this Inteleon's most likely going to have special flying type moves. Of course, if it does have a physical to flying type move, then you can probably just go max HP in that case, because your defense stat is already pretty naturally high too. And the other Pokemon is Focus Sash, Stonejourner. All you need is Power Spot. Does not matter anything else. You're just going to sit here, you're going to have Power Spot, and you're going to be good to go with Focus Sash. And the last Pokemon is actually very important. We're going to have a Meowscarada, and you can't see it here. Let me move my camera. A level 36 Meowscarada. It is very important to be level 36. We need to be as low as possible and be in a Meowscarada. That's going to be very important. And of course, we need a Focus Sash. Because we're at level 36, we are going to die in the first turn. So what we're going to do here is Flower Trick into the Tauros, and is going to guarantee that crit. But because we are level 36, it is not going to do a lot of damage, even though it is stab, super effective, and a crit. You're level 36. We're minus attack nature, and we have 0 investment in our attack stat at all. We're max HP, max speed. It doesn't really matter your EVs because we have Focus Sash going on, so we're going to be good to go. An overview for the turn 1 strat, very simple. Choice Band, close combat. So you're just going to wait for the level 36 Focus Sash Meowscarada to Flower Trick into you. Procs are +6. The Stonejourner player is just going to sit there and hit Attack Cheer, and then Umbreon is going to hit Screech with Wide Lens. This only has a 6% chance of failing because of Wide Lens could miss, because it's going to be 94% accurate. So it is going to work 94% of the time, and as you can see the calc down here, it is going to do a ton of damage. I mean, literally an insane amount, 150 to 177% of the boss's HP, nearly killing 2 of them with that close combat. And the reason why I'm using Water Tauros and not Fire Tauros is because Fire Tauros will die to either a critical hit snipe shot or to a Hydro Pump, so Water Tauros is going to indefinitely be better. And now for our solo strats, and Annihilape should be the solo god once again. Even with that snow defense boost, Annihilape should have great performance. It'll be a little bit slower this time around, but it should be good overall. Now, of course, we're running that Shell Bell with that Ghost Terra, and this time around, we are going to be hitting that max attack, max Spadef instead of max HP, because, you know, it's going to be a special attacker, and we want to take those special attack hits better, so this gives us more bulk in general. Now, the ability, it depends. I have Inner Focus right now, but Defiance also going to be really good here. Inner Focus if it has Air Slash, so you don't get flinched. However, you know, if you have Defiant and it hits you with Mud Shot, if it has Mud Shot, or if it is hitting you with something like Shadow Ball and it gets those defense drops on you, well, you're going to get those Defiant boosts, and that's going to be really nice. So, it really depends on the situation. We'll update it later in the future video, but it doesn't matter too much because all that really matters on the moveset, as we know, is Rage Fish and Screech. If you didn't know how Rage Fish works, whenever you take damage, even if you get knocked out, your attack goes up by 50, caps at 300. Even when you die, you come back, it's at 300. Rage Fish is going to do more damage than Drain Punch and Close Combat. Now, this is going to be very similar to the Typhlosion raid. Annihilape here is going to turn 1 Screech, turn 2 Screech again, and just spam that Rage Fist. It is nice that the AI will always on turn 1 in solos give you defense tier, so we actually get a little bit more bulk, and that's going to buy us time to get those 2 Screeches down. We may faint on turn 3 depending on what moves it does, but that's okay. Annihilape does not care about the timer nor fainting because whenever we get hit, that Rage Fist damage goes up. Now, when the snow is up and we are at max Rage Fist damage, it is a 4-hit KO, potentially. But, of course, you've been doing damage. Your AI teammate's been doing damage. So, it's pretty much going to be a guaranteed 4-hit KO once you've been hit enough times. But if there's no snow, it's a guaranteed 3-hit KO. And, of course, you've been doing damage by then. So, maybe that 3-hit KO turns into a 2-hit KO. And maybe this 4-hit KO turns into a 3-hit KO. So, there's a lot of variance. But the big thing is, once you get those Rage Fist stacks going, you're at that 300 damage. You're going to be getting a lot of HP back from Shell Bell, and pretty much the Inteleon will not be able to one-shot you. Even with a Shadow Ball, you'll be able to eat all that up, and of course, if you are Defiant and it does hit you with a special defense drop, you get that +2 to your attack, and you're going to be doing even more damage, and of course, once you Terra, you'll be punching even harder. So Annihilape should be easy as a solo once again. And our last solo is going to be Iron Hands with the booster energy once again. This is the same Iron Hands build as we showed off before. Max attack, max speed F with an adamant nature, and Quark Drive is going to be using that booster energy, which essentially gives us a free life orb. And because we have Drain Punch, we're just going to be getting that HP back, stab super effective. And instead of Belly Drum, we're actually going to use Swords Dance because with Belly Drum, we actually do not survive 2 hits. With Belly Drum taking 50% down, and then let's say we take a Blizzard, then it's going to go ahead of us because Iron Hands is way slower than Inteleon. So we're going to get hit by 2 hits, and we cannot take 2 hits from Inteleon. So it's better off to actually just go for Swords Dance here. Now, the solo strat here is a little bit different than Annihilape. Turn 1, we want to Swords Dance, and we do have the defense tier, so we're going to be pretty good on that. And then turn 2, we actually want to go for that Drain Punch and get some of that HP back. And then we're going to Swords Dance again, and once we're +4, we're just going to keep spamming Drain Punch, and we're going to be good to go. It probably will wipe some of our buffs at some point. So when it does wipe our buffs, I would recommend going for another Swords Dance and then keep hitting that Drain Punch. Of course, once you hit that Drain Punch a couple of times, you're going to be able to hit that Fighting Terra, and then you're going to be just smacking super hard with those stab, super effective Terra boosted Drain Punches. You do have Close Combat on the moveset as well if you want to do even more damage, but it isn't necessary and you won't get any HP back. Looking at the snow, it is a 6-hit KO at +4, but no snow's a 4-hit KO. And we know the snow's going to come down at some point. So I would say this is probably going to be a 5-hit KO, somewhere in between with the +4, considering your AI teammates are going to do damage as well, and you do hit on turn 2 as well, which isn't including the +4. So there we have it, guys. Those are all of our strats. We got solos, we got 1 turn, we got 2 turn strats. Pretty much everything you need to do in this raid is covered with this video. So definitely please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to share this video with your friends in your Discord servers as well. I love helping out the Pokemon community with this stuff. It's really fun. And we'll be live streaming this Thursday at 8 p.m. on the US East Coast. And I'll be playing with my members, and hopefully we'll be able to play with other community members as well. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a good one. Peace out. Have a great one.